Hi, it's David here, CEO and founder of the Freedom Founders Mastermind community. A lot of business professionals call me because they want what they believe is to be passive income. What's passive income? Well, it sounds like income that you don't have to work for, right? You have investments that produce income, whether you're sleeping or 24/7, you've got this income coming in. And that is ultimately what produces financial freedom. But the question I want to propose to you today is there really anything such as real passive income? And I would say, except for maybe the interest you could get off of a treasury bill or a CD, savings account, money market, which is virtually nil today, there really isn't anything that's really passive about passive income. You have to be active enough to be able to figure out what the investments are that will produce sustainable, predictable cash flow. And you still have to manage somebody who is producing that. In other words, you could have a business, right? And you could be the owner of the business, and you could have other people working in the business. You could even have a partner, and you may be able to gain some owner distributions out of that business, and that would be your passive take. But in terms of making that business run and operate and produce profit, you still got to have some oversight over that. Not exactly passive, is it? What about real estate, rental property? Well, if you do it yourself, which a lot of people do, in fact, I did when I was much younger, it's definitely not passive. It takes time, it takes work to negotiate, acquire, renovate, repair, manage tenants. There's a lot to that. Now, again, you can hire people to do that. That's called turnkey properties. Nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, that's the way I would prefer to go today. People would say, well, you're giving up too much of the quote profit, David. And I say, well, that depends. What am I really giving up? I'm buying back my time and my sanity. When you're younger, you have more time than money, then yes, it probably makes sense to be more active. When you're older in life and your time value is probably more valuable doing what you were trained to do, then you don't need that second job, which is really what managing money can be, a second job. In this case, really getting more closer to passive income. And again, I use passive income in quotes because it's not entirely passive. You've got to be on the forefront of directing your capital in the right investments. And that takes time. It takes relationship building. It takes a network. It takes some skills. The place I see where people get it wrong in life is they completely abdicate. They surrender their hard-earned money to the constructs of Wall Street, financial advisors, 401ks, money managers who do the best they can, but no one looks after your money like you do. Is this a skill set you can learn? Of course it is. You got through school, you passed the tests, the boards, the licenses. Of course you can. Just people tell you can't do this because it's too complicated and you don't have time. Well, again, you're here to buy back time. You want to buy back your time. You want to take the wealth you've worked so hard for, preserve it, maintain it, have it work for you, because that's what buys back your time. That's what lets you take your foot off the pedal. If you continue to give third parties the full control of that, maybe they do the best they can, but in a world that we live in today, with market gyrations, the volatility that we have, there's no way that a passive index fund investment type of strategy is going to cut it. It's going to set you back. It's going to reduce your time to your goals by a great amount. That's not what you want. This is a time in your life where you've got to make a decision. Do you take control of your financial investments, just like you've probably taken control over your business operations? You've got to take control. You can do it. It's what we do at Freedom Founders. We do it better than anybody else. If you've always wanted to say, I can take control of my future finances, this is the time for you to look at it and make that change. Wait longer, and you may have to suffer the decline of the markets during this market correction that we're going through right now. Do you have time to build back up? Do you have time for the market to catch back up again, which takes 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 years? Most people don't. I wouldn't take that time. I would make sure that I'm moving forward and not moving backwards. It's your freedom. You've got to take control of it.